For years, scientists have turned the brain of people with ADHD inside out. All those brain scans have yielded very little. Is ADHD not a real disease, but a consequence of our competitive society? Stay with me if you want to know more. In this video, I'll answer this question, and in addition, I will debunk some myths about ADHD. I'm a healthcare psychologist and therapist, and I make videos on psychology and mental health topics. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Before I will answer the question and debunk some myths, let's look at what we know about ADHD from neuroscience and psychiatry. What we know about the ADHD brain emerged from the big meta-analysis several years ago. This study was a combination of results from many small studies. What have they discovered? They found that 5 brain regions, including the amygdala and hippocampus, are on average a few percent smaller in ADHD. The differences are subtle and especially visible in children. Most differences disappear in adulthood. So the difference in brain volume between people with and without ADHD is very small. There are even greater individual differences within both groups. And some children with ADHD even appear to have a larger brain volume than children without ADHD. A diagnosis based on an MRI scan cannot be made. But what does it mean? This study raised more questions than answers. Brain scientists are looked for abnormalities in brain activity. But even here, it was not possible to draw clear conclusions. According to the medical model, a genetic predisposition in combination with environmental risk factors causes an abnormality in the structural function of the brain. The abnormal area in that brain eventually leads to symptoms. Children are more active and less focused. But in reality, it's also very important to look at the context. Children grow up in a certain environment. They go to school and sometimes act like troublemakers who are bad listeners. Parents and teachers may react with anger and frustration. In this way, a family can end up in a vicious cycle. The child becomes even more difficult, and so things can escalate. In addition, the cultural environment has a great influence. Society expects certain behavior from us, and that society has become more individualistic in recent decades, at least Western society. Families have gotten smaller. Parents have high expectations of their child. We expect pupils to sit still, pay attention, and get good grades. A child who misbehaves in class and continuously demands attention does not comply. In schools with large classes, there is less room for complicated behavior than in class of a maximum of 15 pupils. So today we are more likely to see this behavior as problematic. The competitive society we lived in is, according to some experts, the main reason for the current ADHD epidemic. More and more people are diagnosed with ADHD. The number of prescriptions of medication have increased. It appears that increased performance pressure and less tolerance for deviant behavior are associated with the growing use of ADHD medication. Another reason is that there is more attention and greater awareness of ADHD than in the past. There is now more attention not only for hyperactive children, but also the children who perform poorly because of daydreaming. Research shows that the youngest children in the class were more likely to receive medication for ADHD. But being active can be part of a developmental phase. Children who are almost 1 year younger than their classmates just behave a little less mature. And now let's talk about some ADHD myths. Myth 1. ADHD only occurs in modern Western society. But the truth is that concentration deficiency is equally common in all parts of the world. If we look at the global prevalence of all studies taken together, we arrive at a percentage close to 5.3% among children. The second myth is that every child has ADHD these days. Well, only 1 in 20 children. In a class with 30 pupils, you would find on average 1 or 2 children with ADHD. What is true is that the number of diagnoses has increased and the number of prescriptions of ADHD medication. The third myth is that people often think that ADHD is a concoction of the pharmaceutical industry wanting to sell pills. Many questions arise about the pharmaceutical industry's influence on the diagnosis and treatment of ADHD. It's no secret that there are close ties between some ADHD researchers and the pharmaceutical industry. But not all scientists necessarily lose their independence. The active role of the pharmaceutical industry is to portray ADHD as a brain disorder that can be treated with pills. But this is only a part of the explanation. Another explanation is that we live in a society with high demands to perform and overcrowded classes. The children are expected to reach their school level as quickly as possible. It can be especially difficult for children with a predisposition to ADHD. Genetics and the brain are both factors contributing to human behavior. ADHD is, for example, like body length. Those with tall parents usually grow up tall themselves. Body length is hereditary. But if the child doesn't get enough food, he won't grow tall. Thus, the predisposition to grow tall only manifests itself under certain circumstances. There is a predisposition for hyperactive behavior and inattention, but those hereditary factors do not work on their own. Social and biological environmental factors ensure that the child develops ADHD or not. You can think of the family in which the child grows up, the friends he has, his school, and also what he eats and how polluted is the air he breathes. A third of children with ADHD no longer meet the criteria by puberty. The subtle brain changes diminish, but it's important to have insight into both the social side of hyperactive behavior and the biological predisposition. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell before you go, but also give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next time.